I tell you, the days are way too short. Hopefully they're getting longer. I think they are. But since we got all this fancy snow, and I live in Minnesota, I figured I should probably have a snowmobile that works. So I think today we're going to go out to that Sno-Jet buried in the weeds there that I haven't run in years. I got my shovel and see if we can't dig it out of there, see if it's not froze to the ground, and figure out a way to pull it back to the shop and maybe get it running again. Well, here it is in all its glory. Oh, I definitely make things easy for myself, don't I? But we're going to see if we can dig it out. It's probably froze to the ground. Probably got a little water in her. I don't know. We'll have to see. But let's dig it out and look at it first. And see what we're working with. See, I told you there was a snowmobile in there. Oh, ye of little faith. Yeah, I left the choke closed, so you know there's no water got into that. Of course. Yeah, it looks like everything's kind of frozen. Hey, the engine still turns over. We can make it run, no problem. Found myself a fuel line. Don't know where that was supposed to go, but it was over there, so it probably goes to this thing. Yeah, I think we can make this work. All the wires are black, so real easy to tell what goes where. They really did things good back then. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to pick up on it. Oh no, nope, she's froze. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get her unfroze, I guess. It's been, I think it's been sitting here a little too long. It's become one with the earth. I don't know if we can break it loose or not. I might need the tractor. Well, the back doesn't seem to be froze anymore. I was able to get two hands on that thing and he-man it up, and it's not stuck. It'll move. But up in the front, it would appear, after I cleaned off the snow, that some sort of gopher has gone ahead and made a home right over both of these skis. So I think I can clear that away if I get a regular dirt shovel and hopefully break it loose, because I don't think it's too froze. Should be alright. Alright, I got one ski dug out. It was only, half a foot underground. It's fine. So now I gotta try to do that side. And when I did that first time, broke it loose, I saw a friendly little mouse run away, so I'm sure everything under the hood is fine. I'm sure he didn't build a home in that big fancy looking exhaust or anything. No. Alright, one more ski to go. Well, there we go. We got her free. As you can see, she was a little buried. And yeah, I'm sure glad I did this before the ground was frozen. Not like in January or something. But we got her broke loose. I think I'm losing too much daylight here. But I think what I'm going to do, maybe tomorrow, is grab the tractor and come along here and hook onto it and drag her back to the shop. Hopefully I'll be able to get through this without any trouble. Now that it moves, maybe some of that dirt clods fall out on the way. I can only hope. And the rest of the mice, I found two live ones and a dead one, so maybe that's all of them. I doubt it. Alright, we got a little more daylight today. Let's fire up this tractor, see if we can get it back there and drag that snowmobile back to the garage. I think this tractor will start. I think. That warm up and then take her out there. Alright, we got the tractor backed up in here, hooked onto the front of it. Hopefully that rope will stay. We'll leave that fuel line here. I don't think we need it. Let's go ahead and fire it up and see if it'll pull. I don't see why it wouldn't. Oh yeah, no problem. Alright. Well, I'm going to turn off the camera and use both hands to drive and get that back to the shop. Alright, I got the old snow junk drug in here and got most of the snow off of it. And I noticed a few problems. One is this throttle cable here is junk. I got it to move, but it's fraying and it's not going back. I don't want to be stuck at wide open throttle, so we're going to have to fix that at some point. The other thing I noticed is the track don't move very easy. It's packed full of dirt and who knows what else underneath. So if I do get it running, I'll have to pick it up, pick the back end up with my little lift and clean that out. But for now, I think we're going to go ahead and I'm going to blow that snow out of there, and I'll pull the spark plug out, spray a little lube in there, and then hook up the battery and see if it'll spin over. And remember which way is on and off. That's my kill switch and that's the starter. So let's see if we can figure that out. And then I imagine I'm going to have to do something with that carburetor. It can't be good. But let's get that off of there first and see what it does. Alright, I threw a battery in this old beast and I got it on the charger. Let's go ahead and just see if it cranks over for us, or if I have to do more work. Well, she cranks good. I think we'll spray a little carb cleaner in there and put the plug back in and see if it'll fire. Alright, let's see if this thing will do anything. I think that's on. Well, there we go. We got a runner. Simple as that. Well, it ran. I looked at my old videos, and apparently the last time I fired it up was 2015. I didn't think it had been that long, but you know, cold starts are like a fine wine. You got to let them age. So this thing is aged pretty much perfectly. I noticed it's got oak moss growing on it, so you know it's good. Now that we know it fires, the original reason why I didn't really use it much was because it had a pretty weak spark. As soon as that spark plug got fouled at all, it just wouldn't run. And I'm thinking that was because of the weak spark. And inside there's some magnets that are busted for the magneto, so I'm thinking that's the main issue. And I found another problem. There's supposed to be a nipple on this carburetor so you can, you know, get gas to it, and that is broken. So probably have to run down to my uncle's and see if he's got something to make that work, because he's got a bunch of old snowmobiles and stuff. So maybe. Other than that, we got to fix this throttle. I got to clean out the tracks. I'll probably do that next. And I think what I'm going to do is pull a regular coil from a car. Since I have a battery, I think I can probably rig that up, and then we'll take care of our sparky spark issue. Yeah, so I think I'll jack her up and we'll look at them tracks. Well, I got the back end jacked up, and yeah, there's a little bit of frozen dirt and crud in there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that out and then check all the wheels, make sure they move. Yeah, so far so good. But yeah, I got to get all that crap out of there first, and then we can really see what it does. Well, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I figured I found big clods of dirt under there, but it wasn't really all that bad, and all the bogey wheels still seem to move, so I think the track will work. I can grab onto the gearbox here and roll it over, and the track moves, so the engine should do it just fine. Now, I think I'm going to address this throttle cable. I think I'll go out into the lawnmower pile and see if I can't find some sort of piece of cable there that'll I can jimmy rig up and make work. And then after that, we'll have to take the carburetor off and see if we can find some sort of nipple for that. Alright, I've got the original cable off of here, and it's got this little cylinder on the end, which I could take off and do with that, but I think I'm going to do it a different way. I also went out to the scrap pile and grabbed this old lawnmower cable here, and I think what I'm going to do, nip off one of these ends, pull the steel through, and then I think I'll make that hole there a little bigger where that thing was bolted in, and I'll just fit that little S-hook right into the handle, and hopefully be able to feed the steel through that, and we should have a cable. So see if I can make it work. Alright, we've got our makeshift throttle cable on here. I had to drill that hole a little bigger, but it should work, and got it threaded through here. It seems to move alright. I also took the carburetor off, and I actually found the little nipple in the old fuel line, so I super glued it back on and then put some JB weld around it. Hopefully that'll hold. We'll try to be gentle with it. So I can go ahead and slap the carburetor back on, and I think I'll replace this line here while I'm down here, because it's looking in pretty rough shape, and I have some more lines, so we'll replace that, throw the carburetor on, and we'll be almost ready to try her out and see if it runs on its own. Well, alright, I got everything hooked up, got some fresh gas mixed, and I got the back end up off the ground so it don't go anywhere. And I was just about to put the fuel line into the gas can, and I was going to give her a shot, and of course my little inlet nipple broke, so I guess I'm going to have to take that thing off and find another one. My little JB Weld and super glue fix didn't quite work. Alright, I got my little inlet thing replaced. I got the gas hooked up. We're going to go ahead and fire it off with a little carb spray, and hopefully it'll start and run and suck some gas and start running on its own. Let's give her a shot. Should be on. Well, she ran a little ways. Well, I guess she's a runner. Well, I guess that didn't run too bad for something that sat outside for the last half a decade. And I saw the track was moving, so that's good. I think I'll probably end up tinkering with it a little bit, see if I can get it to run a little bit better, and then I'll hook that fuel line back up to the stock tank and see if I can get it to run off that, because looked inside, it looked to be empty. Hopefully there's not a whole ton of gunk in there, but if I can get it running off that tank, I suppose I can take it for a little ride. Alright, I got the fuel line hooked up to the tank and ran it a little bit. Seems to be running on its own fuel, so out of its own tank. So let's I guess fire it up and see how she rips. If it'll start, it should. Oh yeah, no problem. Well, she's definitely a tippy old bugger, but she runs.